But let's get to the next headliner topic on this edition of the Rock News Roundup podcast, and that is the cast has been announced for The Battle, the new West End London play about the 1995 Oasis versus Blur chart battle, also known as the Battle of Britpop. Now, you might know this if you're an Oasis fan like me, and a lot of Oasis fans watch this channel, but you might know back in 1995, Oasis, Roll With It, their second single from Morning Glory, and Blur's Country House went head to head in a chart battle back in 1995. The press went crazy and went with it, called it the Battle of Britpop. Of course, the press went crazy on that. The bands said all sorts of silly stuff in the press at the time, and eventually Blur won the Battle of Britpop. Country House was the one that reached number one in the Brit charts when it was released, and Roll With It had to settle with number two, even though I think, as an Oasis fan, Roll With It is the far superior song. I love Blur, but they have way better songs than Country House. And so now this new play is debuting in London's West End in February. I'm going to show you this poster, pretty cool, of all the different people that were announced in the cast. The poster has the Oasis logo, like the outside of the Oasis logo with the Blur font, which I thought was a very, very nice touch, a way to combine both bands' logos into one thing for this new play. And the cast has been announced. Now, I'm not familiar with any of these names. I'm sure if you're from the UK, if you're more plugged into the West End scene, the play scene in London, you might know these names. I'm sure many of them will become household names in the future, but let's take a look at this. So we have Patty Stafford as Noel Gallagher, George Usher as Liam Gallagher, Oscar Lloyd as Damon Albarn, Will Taylor as Graham Coxon, and they got people playing everybody in Oasis. You got people playing Bonehead, Gwigsy, and Alan White, and then you also have some actors playing the spouses of the bands at the time. So you have somebody playing Noel Gallagher's wife at the time, Meg Matthews, and Damon Albarn from Blur's girlfriend at the time, Justine Frischman. Of course, we know from Elastica. She's a musician all in her own right. So we have some people playing the members of Oasis, and then you have the people playing the spouses of the bands. The only person I think is missing here is Dave Rowntree, the drummer of Blur, because we got somebody playing their bass player Alex, but nobody playing the drummer of Blur. So I don't really know why they did that. But when you think about it, this is a very interesting concept for a play, because I'm assuming this isn't a musical, because that's probably for the best. As a musician, as somebody who loves music, I actually don't really love musicals. Now, my favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future, and recently, over the last couple of years, they launched this new Back to the Future stage play that played in London, New York. I think it played in Toronto. It's played a whole bunch of places. I love music, but I hate musicals. And this Back to the Future documentary or play that I'm not going to get into actually looks really awful. Aside from the music from the movie that they included in the play, then they did all this other music that was specifically written for the play, which was absolutely ridiculous. I did not enjoy what I heard from that at all. But I'm thinking, like, is there something wrong with me if I'm a musician who doesn't like musicals? Like, and this thing, the Battle, this new play in the West End would make sense to be a musical. Because, you know, we're talking about Oasis and Blur, but I have a feeling like being able to license and get the rights for those songs for this play would be astronomical and probably out budget the entire play itself. So I don't really think that it's going to be a musical, but really this is it's a good time for drama, because this is a huge moment in 90s Britpop history. It makes for some good on-stage drama, and I'm sure they're going to be embellishing a lot of what happened, you know, and talking about what happened in the press and a lot of things that Noel Gallagher said and Liam Gallagher and Damon Albarn at the time. But this is actually a great time for this battle play to be coming up, because, you know, we are still, even though the Oasis Live 25 tour is over, we are still in the grip of Oasis Live 25 fever. I know a lot of people are still, you know, loving listening to Oasis and are looking for anything Oasis content. We are still clamoring for Oasis stuff, because the tour is over. We don't really know what else is happening with the band, if they're going to be doing anything in 2026 in terms of going on the road or releasing new music or anything like that. We don't really know what's going on with Oasis, so we might as well turn to watching a play of people playing Oasis as a way for us to get our Oasis fix. But I'm just wondering, like, will this be any good? because again, you have to embellish things. You have to bring people in to play these parts. Like it could be, pretty much depending on the quality of the acting and the story, just like a musical biopic, they can be very heavy handed and on the nose. Like every musical biopic that I've watched, I don't like musicals. I don't really like musical biopics as well, whether it be Bohemian Rhapsody or A Complete Unknown or any of those movies that have been released over the last little while. I find them always to be very heavy-handed, and you always have people just kind of going over the top in their portrayal of these musicians and these figures of music that we look up to so much. It's always just a little bit of a mixed bag when you have these stories. And I'm thinking like at least it's English people that are playing the characters in this play, because you can't get Canadians or Americans or anybody to play Brits in these kinds of projects, whether it be a play or a movie. The Beatles movie that's coming out in a couple of years, or the 4 Beatles movies that are coming out in a couple of years, because it doesn't work that way, because British people, English people, people from the UK, they can do American accents convincingly, but it doesn't work the other way, right? We Canadians, Americans, it just sounds awful when we try to do a British accent. I'm not going to try to do one, even though I think I do a pretty good one. I'm not going to do it here on the channel. So thankfully they've gotten a fully English, or at least, English, Irish cast to play the characters in this play, and they're not just getting a bunch of Canadians or Americans to do bad accents for them in this play. But I think, what? It's a cool idea. I won't be in London's West End anytime soon, so I don't really feel like I'll be able to check this out myself. But if you are somebody who's going to be checking out this new play called The Battle, you can let me know here on the channel and let me know if it's worth seeing for other Oasis Blurs fans or Blurs fans to go check out. And I'm thinking, like, is this a sign that eventually we will get a fictionalized Oasis movie? I'm thinking that is eventually going to happen. Like I said, they're doing a series of Beatles movies, 4 Beatles movies actually, based on all the 4 Beatles coming out in 2028. Rock biopics are all the rage. Oasis is very popular again after doing the reunion tour last year. So it just makes me wonder, like, will an Oasis movie eventually happen? Like, I feel like it will. I feel like maybe not right away, because I don't think Liam and Noel Gallagher would really ever sign off on that kind of thing right now. But I feel like eventually, if the money's right, they will get an Oasis fictionalized movie made, not a documentary like Supersonic or the stuff that we've got in the past, or the new Live 25 documentary that's going to be coming out this year. No, like, we're going to be eventually be getting an Oasis movie. I feel like that's going to be happening eventually, maybe not in the near future, but eventually when the money is right for the Gallagher brothers. But until then, we have this new play, The Battle, the story of the Battle of Britpop between Blur and Oasis. I'm sure it's going to be great. It's going to be opening up on London's West End in February, so it's coming out really soon. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of this new play that's going to be coming out based on the story of the Battle of Britpop? Are you going to go check it out, or are you just going to be a skip for you? Let me know in the comments below.